The crew worldwide, from Cali to Twitter, real hardcore fans, boxing ass niggas, consistency cops, police the views, we'll pull up receipts for any debates you choose. Shout outs to Clan Archie for the dope production. Ring Gang stay with the best discussions. Ring Gang Radio.
So yeah, those were our, thoughts on the Avengers Endgame. As you know, they were very complete and very precise. Because like I said, it's better that way, because I'm not gonna, a non-spoiler review ain't the wave. So yeah, we're going to get into some boxing right now. Next weekend will be probably one of the biggest cards of the year. Of course, I'm talking about the middleweight title unification between WBA, WBC middleweight champions Saul Canelo Alvarez versus the IBF middleweight champion Daniel Jacobs. Huge fight, as I mentioned before. Canelo also happens to be the lineal champion in the middleweight division as well. So the belts will all be on the line. Like winner, of course, is a question with the number one middleweight in the division, and with Andre being the last and final obstacle for a total undisputed title. I'm excited about this fight because I think it's probably the most natural fight, and I know DAZN is like, this is the fight that they wanted. They want because they have to get the big fights. So I'm pretty sure now this is what everyone will be on their subscriber shit. It's like, okay, I gotta pay my $20 a month for this, and not me though, because I've been paying for it since from jump, so it's only $9.99, motherfuckers. This is definitely a big fight, and this is definitely a winnable fight for both men. LB, you want to start? What are your thoughts about this?
For Canelo Jacobs, I mean Canelo by decision.
Yeah.
We don't even have to have an episode no more. Remember, Canelo cannot lose on the scorecards, no matter how bad he looks. So the safest bet in boxing is Canelo can't lose. The Canelo decision, it don't matter if it's majority decision, split decision, unanimous decision. This Canelo by decision. That's all I really got. That's all you can really say about this fight, because that's all there is to be said.
Yeah, because unfortunately, we've always said that it's to the people who are not hip to that, is because Canelo has a history of getting some crazy ass cards that have gone his way. Canelo has only one official loss as a pro, which is to Floyd Mayweather, a fight that he was literally washed from round 2 to the final round. There's probably no way you should be able to give him a round. But
if you give Canelo more than 3 rounds against Floyd, something's wrong.
Right. But then a judge happened to saw that fight a draw, which is ridiculous. Like, there's nothing that Canelo did that he won 6 rounds against Floyd. And then that started the whole string. They had the cards for Laura, and then the 2 Triple G fights. Even Trout, on occasion. So it's a lot of cards that Canelo's gotten the, quote unquote, a favorable card that was spelled out way before, even before the first undercard fights have popped off.
Bruh, it's like he gets the benefit of the doubt too much. Like, has there ever been a A-list, elite talent, big name superstar who got the benefit of the doubt this many times? Like, honestly, if you like real shit, Canelo is the career Oscar would have had if Oscar had the benefit of the doubt in 90% of his fights.
But then also, Oscar was a way better talent, a way better fighter than Canelo.
Of course, and that's what I'm talking about. Even with that said, imagine Oscar's career if he got the decision in the second Mosley fight. Or if he got the Trinidad decision.
Right. Yeah,
we don't refer to Oscar De La Hoya as an all-time great.
Even though he is, he's unquestionably is.
He's on the lower spectrum of it. But if he has those 2 wins, officially, we put him up there as an all-time great. No doubt about it.
Right. Yeah, there's
I feel like that's what niggas is doing for Canelo on some, well, man, you hating on Canelo. He fought this nigga, that nigga, this nigga, that nigga. But we always forget, everybody always forgets that stretch of fights where we had a loaded 154, a loaded 160, and this man fought Amir Khan, and Liam Smith, and Chavez Jr. in 3 consecutive fights.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's so much shit. Like, come on, it's like, yeah, this fight with Jacobs is good and everything, but if we not gonna call it down the line, does it matter? We gonna just see Canelo get another decision in a close fight,
right? And especially if someone like now Jacobs. Jacobs does have the ability to beat Canelo. Myself, I'm a little soured on Jacobs for one very specific reason. The Triple G fight. Now, Jacobs tried to pull a fast one in that fight, a ridiculous fast one, because at the time it was told that there was there were 2 weigh-ins. Obviously a day before and then the same day weigh-in. But he blew off the same day weigh-in, which was required for the IBF title, not for WBA, WBC, and all of those belts were on the line. So he purposely blew off the IBF weigh-in, second day weigh-in, and he came in, of course, big as fuck, and then doing it, and of course he explained, I need to. Go ahead.
No, say so he could take those punches.
Yeah, exactly. He came in because he was like, so I can feel strong. All types of bullshit. Then he's like, so if I beat Triple J, why do I need the title? All this other bullshit. And then, of course, he got a boxing lesson. He got dropped and he got rocked plenty of times. And then at the end of that fight, he sunk to his knees because he was just like, God damn, this nigga was hitting me. Even though he boxed fairly well. And after that fight, I was just like, this nigga really tried to pull a fast one, and I was kind of soured on it. And then from there, Jacobs has not looked as sharp as he ever. I mean, he faced, Selecki, and he didn't look...
Arias first.
Yeah, that fight was...
He didn't look good against, because the kid wasn't trying to fight.
Right.
But it don't matter, you still go in there and you get a guy out of there. I mean, there's plenty of niggas who got in the ring with Tyson who didn't want to fight.
Right.
And they didn't make the fucking final bell, so I don't want to hear that shit.
Right. And then there was the Selecki fight, which was a lot more competitive than it probably should have been.
Selecki can box, bro.
He can, there's no question about that, but it's just a fight that it's just like, why is this even competitive? If you're supposed to show levels, and...
Yeah, you're supposed to be the top 3 in the division. A guy like Selecki, who's a fringe contender at 160 at best. I'm supposed to blow him out the water, but you shouldn't be having some tit for tat, close ass fight, where a knockdown really kind of sealed the day for you at the end. Right.
Yeah, and then after his last fight, the fight that he won the IBF title against Sergey Derevianchenko, which was it was a damn good fight. It was probably HBO's real last good fight on there, and that fight was a lot closer than it should. It was a lot closer than it probably should have been. Although Derevianchenko at the time was like 12 or 13, some shit like that, But it was high compared.
Nothing stoppage. I mean, he dropped the dude again, so.
Yeah, he dropped
his power is there.
It's there, but it was one of those things where, a level should have been shown and it wasn't.
Yeah, especially with a guy with 13 fights or whatnot,
Right. So, now you have him, and so now you have him going into Canelo, and I saw that performance. I was thinking to myself, whoever he faces next, I see him as a one and done. In this one. And then Canelo, now I'm not saying Canelo has plenty of flaws. As most people, Canelo, like I said, he still has stamina issues. He doesn't necessarily cut off the ring very well in his knees And I think you see hints that he's having some knee issues, because before he never went anywhere with knee braces. Now he's rocking them, so it's just like, he has fast hands, but his feet are not fast. They're not necessarily in sync most of the time. And he throws a lot of bullshit, on occasion. Good body puncher, but he does throw a lot of bullshit combinations. Now, do I see? And then now, but he's also the smaller man against Jacobs. Jacobs is 6'1". I personally met Jacobs, and while I tower over him, Jacobs is not. He's big. He's a big guy for his size. I mean, he probably walks around at cruiserweight when he's not training or whatever. So Jacobs does have the size advantage over him, and also the speed and the movement. It's just whether or not can Jacobs actually focus.
Okay, he might have the overall speed. I think Canelo quicker, but yeah. My bad. I agree with you.
Yeah, no, I mean, because in this fight, I think Jacobs moves on his toes, moves more than Canelo does. Canelo.
Yeah, he's athletic overall,
But what Jacobs does, he has a lot of mental lapses in his fights. Serious mental lapses at times. I mean, this is a man that got dropped by Sergio Moro of all people. You know what I'm saying? One punch. So it's like, he would have to be like basically the type of performance that he had with Triple G. He would have to show against Canelo, and more importantly, he would have to do something, because we already know if it goes to distance, knockout, Canelo's going to win the fight.
Against Golovkin, he wasn't trying to fight to win, man. He was just
spoiling
the whole off Golovkin.
Yeah, he was spoiling a lot. He was
trying to finesse. He was throwing a bunch of arm punch combinations and trying to out-flurry Golovkin, and instead of just trying to push Golovkin back and use his size and strength and really put it on Golovkin, he just tried to fucking finesse it with the little movement and movement flurries. That's what that was.
Right.
And that shit ain't gonna work with fucking Canelo.
Hell no. Yeah, like I said,
dropping his ass. Canelo hit hard, and Jacobs be looking chinny sometime in these fights, man. Like he physically be getting hurt.
Right, exactly. And that is something you cannot happen. Like, in order for him to win, like, he would have to really be able to limit Canelo's output as well as as his connect percentage, and possibly at least try to knock him down. Like he's gonna be like, I don't think there's a rehydration call. If you want to keep that same energy, because in this fight there's not second day weigh-in. I actually respect him if he keeps the same energy and he comes in big as fuck, with his height, and actually try to use his size to actually not only just use his skill, but to really use physicality against Canelo, and actually try to win the fight, not to try to finesse him. You gotta make him pay. Floyd made Canelo pay for every fucking miss in that fight. Jacobs has to do the same. Triple G himself, just off a jab, was schooling Canelo left. Not only in the first fight, but in the second fight as well. But of course, like I said, the dubious decision, reared its head in both fights.
Honestly, if I was Jacobs, I would honestly employ a tactic where I would try to make Canelo come for me, and I would just back and forth that shit. Flurry, back him up, hit him with a hard shot, and then just run around and just try to make him come for me. And just don't let Canelo get any type of damn scoring type of momentum, because he already fighting spurts.
Yeah, he does.
So someone got to just take advantage of that and actually get the official win. Because in all honesty, man, like, shoot, Canelo could have 5 losses on his record if you want to be honest.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He only has 1, and even if you said, okay, you know what, we're not gonna give him, we'll give him the Trout and the Lara victories. There's no way he should have both of those Golovkin fights.
No, not at all.
No way a draw and no fucking victory, really?
No.
But we'll see what happens, because, Jacobs could throw a wrench in these plans.
Right. Now Jacob,
a knockout.
Yeah, because Jacob throwing a wrench in these plans. Should he win? Well, first of all, obviously you can't say, you know, for the Triple G detractors, like you can't say Triple G could be a loser. Well, Triple G beat Jacobs, so what you're saying, and then also too,
a nice rematch.
Yeah, it would definitely be a nice rematch, and then because I doubt that Andre and Jacobs will fight because they're friends, you know, and they both said they're not really. I mean, unless you know dollars make sense, and it would be
It's making sense over at the Zone on the money they giving these niggas. Nah, fuck all this friend.
That is also true. So, you know, I would imagine that Jacobs versus Triple G will be a fight. If Jacobs wins, that will be a fight that will be run back for sure. You know, the Zone will probably demand it. They'll probably throw all types of money at them. Well, Triple G's going to get a whole bunch of money. Jacobs will have to pay a whole bunch of money on this. So yeah, you know,
it needs this, man. Like. I'm tired of the same old narrative. Like Canelo's in all these hard fights, it gets the benefit of the doubt in each one. Like, can we just change up boxing a little bit and you know give us a different outcome, something we didn't expect? Because this whole year been kind of underwhelming.
All right, it's safe for this past weekend, you know. But we'll talk more about that, you know, probably later on this week. In a recap.
Yeah. The last 2 weekends been kind of restoring the feeling.
Right.
Especially this weekend, the one that just passed. So yeah.
But yeah, we'll definitely talk more about that. So, but yeah, you know, Canelo Jacobs, man. Hopefully this, because now all the eyes will be on the Zone like they want, matchroom boxing. So yeah, we just hope the main event delivers. But before all that, too.
Hold on, what's your prediction though, my nigga? You can't. I ain't letting you leave without no predictions because you've been on a roll lately.
Oh man, yeah.
With them jobber fights though, man.
Oh man, yeah, jobber fights. You know, you gotta put me on the spot. See, let's put it this way: if it goes a distance, Canelo's gonna win this. Like I said, it's just whatever. Like I said, if there's no knockdowns, if Canelo scores a knockdown, for sure that Canelo is going to win this motherfucking fight. You know, and it goes in distance. I think Jacobs has too many mental lapses, and he doesn't really go for it as much as he should. And it's just like I said, there are plenty of opportunities where he could have gone for it, where he could have actually performed better, and he hasn't. And he's either got it close but clear. It's just like I don't think he's ever took it. I don't think he ever put the extra oomph into it that he needed to do.
Not against the top guys.
Right.
You're right about not against the top guys. Like
definitely not a top guy. So like I said, I mean I'm probably gonna go with Canelo by decision. And now. Now, I would love to see Jacobs rise to the occasion and batter Canelo senseless. You know.
Yeah, I would love that too, because you know, we want to see something different. I mean, me personally, like Jacob's style has a lot of bully in it to me. Mm-hmm. He knows who he could jump on and just blitz and see if he could hurt him and just kind of get him out of there. He did with Dervy. He did that. He tried that with Derevyanchenko. I think he got a quick little knockdown off of that. Mm-hmm. He tried to do it with Mora, got into a little war and got dropped in the process.
And hurt.
And hurt, yeah. Not just dropped. He got legit hurt. Like, oh shit. Mm-hmm. He did it with Quillin.
Successfully, yeah.
But people he knows that are tough, that could hang around in there, got some skills. He don't try all that shit. He couldn't do it with Selecki.
No, he couldn't. He definitely didn't do it. He did it with Triple G. You know.
Nah, he couldn't even. It's like he would try a little bit, but at the end of the day, the jab kept him honest. Mm-hmm. So he couldn't do it. So, and now think about it. He's bigger than all these dudes we talking about.
Right.
Jacobs could literally fight at super middleweight, and I don't think it'd be a problem. Like honestly, like him and Caleb Smith might be a 50-50 fight, or at least Caleb Smith 55-45.
Who's Caleb Smith?
Not Caleb.
Your ass.
No, super middleweight champion.
Oh, Callum Smith. Oh, I was like,
Callum Smith. Okay, but yeah, apologies. Yeah, shout outs to the champ. But yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, Jacobs is a big dude, and if I felt like if he applied that bum rush approach to everybody, you know, he'd probably be better off for it, because, you know, you don't. Why you only believe in your size with some people and some people you don't.
Right. Yeah. It's
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. But yeah, he has fought at super middleweight for, like, I think for the majority of his career. Like, the only time he's actually gone to middleweight is just because middleweight probably had more options for him. Like the Ishe fight, Pirog fight, there were middleweight fights. But in between that,
no, the Ishe fight was 154.
No, that was middleweight. That was a middleweight fight.
That was middleweight. That was a long. You sure that was middleweight?
Yeah, it's a middleweight fight.
Damn. That Ishe putting in work at middleweight from that long?
Yeah, it's just like he only went down to middleweight just for, like, you know, for, because at that time there were bigger fights. Because he was a super middleweight when he was fighting super middleweight back in the. I mean, well, there was a Super 6, but he was at HBO back then. He wasn't on Showtime. So that's probably the reason why he probably jumped down. He started fighting at middleweight.
And then he got the Pirog fight.
Yeah, and you know, and then from there fight he had some, you know, also he had the cancer, and then he came back. He won one of the regular middleweight titles, and then he lost the Triple G. So yeah, I mean, dude has been around the middle for a while, but how long he can stay at middleweight remains to be seen. Because I know he's had troubles in the last couple of camps getting down to that weight, and then of course, you know, flat out blowing off weight for Triple G's fight for the second day weigh-in.
And sometimes it's a matter of training too. Like, if you remember how Jermaine Taylor was at middleweight for a good minute, but then it seemed like he was outgrowing middleweight. Then he got up to super middleweight, and he looked better, but his body, his frame, it didn't look like he was damn.
It didn't look like he was a super middleweight. He got his weight up, but his body didn't look like it could actually.
It wasn't like it was bigger or muscular or anything. It just looked like he just filled out a little more and got the super middleweight.
Yeah.
But then you notice when he came back to 160 years later, and I know his career was done, even though he still got some solid victories. Solomon and
he won the belt again. I mean, it wasn't just
yeah. I mean, I'm actually being low key with this shit. Really, the nigga got the title. Like, yeah, he won a fucking legit world title again. You know, I'm just saying the names, the victories, but yeah, and you notice when he came back to 160, he looked pretty much like, body wise, he looked pretty much the same way he looked when he was at 160 all those years ago, and he was on ESPN and on HBO and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it just look like it's just how serious people train, or, you know, who you got in your corner, who you got in your camp, and how you apply them shits.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, because like I said, I mean, he didn't do that great at some. I mean, the only thing he did good, Taylor, at super middleweight was he washed Jeff Lacey, which pissed me off. That fight pissed me off too, because as I said before, I'm a Lacey fan. You know, so seeing that happen to you know just pissed me off. And then of course the Froch fight, which was a legendary comeback fight. One of the fight doesn't really get enough mention, really. You know, it's probably Froch's finest hour, you know, as a fighter. You know, and it's just like, and then after that, the Arthur Haber fight was the beginning of the end for him. So yeah, you know, it's just like sometimes, you know, sometimes going up a division is not the best decision overall. And
although everybody and their mom wanted Golovkin to go up a division.
I know, right?
and see, that's why sometimes you gotta know your path in life. Mm-hmm. You gotta know your goal. You gotta know your end game.
Mm-hmm.
And let, you know, the peanut gallery dictate what's best for you, or make you have some deviations in the flow of your shit. because now Golovkin $100 million deal. He already got wins over fucking, you know, the real niggas know he already got wins over Golovkin. I'm sorry, over Canelo and Jacobs.
Right.
So I mean, he ain't had to go and fight no super middleweight to do that shit either. He got the industry still tried to fuck him over, but at the end of the day, you know, he shifted his priorities to the bag, and look at it. I don't even think his career would have played out if he would have moved up back then when everybody wanted him to.
Hell no.
You got best for you. So I don't even want to make it come off like we telling Jacobs he should move up and all this shit. We just looking at it like look, this is a big motherfucker. Like, he looked like he could easily be at super middleweight better than a lot of other dudes that moved up. And Jermaine Taylor was just an example.
Right.
And I think Taylor way skilled, is a much better fighter than Jacobs.
Right. And that's what we're saying. Like, no, if you're gonna have a size advantage like that, use it. Use it.
Yeah.
You know,
Canelo's short, man. Like, Canelo is short. Like, he's not no big dude like that. Like, he's more filled out, you know, stockier, but.
And that could just possibly be because of the roids, but you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's just like, you know, if you're bigger like that, even with someone that's probably been roiding up, use the fucking size. You know, go for it. Like, you know, this is for him. It's a legacy fight. You know,
be first. Don't sit back and let Canelo paw at you and try to set up the counters and body shots.
Right.
Because if it's a slow fight, Canelo's gonna pick him apart.
Right.
Jacob doesn't have the boxing ability. He don't have the reflexes and the timing of Canelo.
Right. I'm saying that, like, they got to do. Jacobs has to go for broke. This is the fight that will, you know, like I said, I mean, it's not gonna look good that, you know, if he loses, then it's like, hey, Jacobs never beat the best middleweights of this generation. You know, it's just like, we hope that he goes for it this time, because, like I said, boxing needs a high-profile fight that delivers in the ring. That's equal.
Yeah,
that's equal on paper, and that delivers on the ring, because we had none of the high-profile fights this year. Well, except for this fight which we'll talk about later, delivered on that aspect.
Let's say pay-per-view fights.
Pay-per-view fight. Well, it's not really pay-per-view because this is the zone. You know,
No, it's pay-per-view for all you niggas who ain't wised up yet.
Yeah, exactly. Word. You know, although you can see it in the theater, like, if you don't want to do any of that shit, you can go pay 13.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this has a legit pay-per-view, like a big fight feel. Like, Jacob's already been proven, Canelo proven. You know, it has that fight, it has that feel, but it has to live up to it. And when it comes to boxing, there's two expectations you gotta live up to. The fight performance gotta live up to what we anticipating, and shit just gotta be just, bro. Like,
right,
it's just gotta be served. It can't be no referee that's, you know, ignoring low blows and fouls, or chastising one fighter and sucking another fighter dick.
Yeah.
None of this damn goofy shit, you know. No 3 blind mice for the judges, or blind women, you know, because these hoes be blind too.
Yeah. Yep. Word.
You know, we equal opportunity niggas that shit on people out here. So we just need a big fucking match, you know, that just lives up to the height all the way. And it need to come from a superstar. It's one thing when a guy like Danny Garcia knocks somebody out that no one expected for it to happen, and he turns his career around in his best fight in 5 years. That's cool. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't it be great if a star that's even bigger than him has an even better performance?
Exactly.
And we all just stringing these together, like, okay, like, you know, half the year almost over, and it's like we just now starting to put the cherries on the top.
Right.
It's fucking what? It just damn April just ended, or April almost done.
Right. So I mean, let's say all we do is we hope for it to deliver. But before all that, I'll just breeze through. Like, I mean, obviously this is a Golden Boy event, so this is gonna be a Golden Boy undercard. And unfortunately, it's, I mean, on paper, it's not the most, this something like this did definitely need like a worthy co-main event, or at least like a really strong support on the supporting cast on the undercard. Not as much as this doesn't really have it as much. I think the co-main event is like Virgil Ortiz Jr., who's a prospect, versus Mauricio Herrera, who's seen better days. Jojo Diaz faces Freddie Fonseca. Saddam Ali faces Anthony Young. And then another prospect fight, well, one prospect fight really, it's just Lamont Roche Jr., who I've actually seen live, versus Jonathan Akendo. That might actually be a sleeper of a fight. And then John Ryder, who was originally supposed to face David Lemieux in the co-main for the interim WBA super middleweight title, held by, of course, the real title is held by Callum Smith. But David unfortunately suffered an injury, so he got replaced by another prospect, Bilal Akawi. So that pretty much that runs down the whole undercard. Like I said, it's nothing. I mean, outside of maybe the Roach Akendo fight and then Ortiz and Herrera, the undercard doesn't really speak to me as much. It's just like, we're gonna see a whole bunch of fights before the main event, and hopefully that, best case scenario, that there are some wars that pop off that get people warmed up for the main event. But yeah, I mean, like I said, that's really all you can say about the undercard. I don't know, LB, if you have anything that you want to say about
Jobber Festival. Jobber Festival. Like, these niggas set up the Jobber Factory right in front of the damn Canelo Jacobs fight. Just said, all right, y'all knock yourself out. We'll take the 4 best fights and we'll put them right here on the undercard. Like, yeah, that worked. Yeah, good shit.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Yeah, they should have, for this one, it's not Golden Boy. Golden Boy has actually been pretty good with the undercards this year. This should have been the event that they should have really put some thought into it. But
I mean, this is right off the heels of the undercard that Top Ring put together for Khan and Crawford, and it's like,
yeah, and
just looking funny in the light, man. I'm just saying, like,
yeah,
I'm seeing too much boxing and not enough damn solid put together fights, yo.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I understand that. I understand that fighters obviously, they make money, but the matchmakers need to, Golden Boy's matchmaker needs to do better. It's just like, you guys have some money. You guys could throw on some money to get a significant fight on this card.
Yeah.
But well, like I said, beggars can't be choosers, I guess.
It's a better card than Errol Spence and Garcia. But...
Oh, by far. Yeah, by far. But it's just like, I mean,
to the corner store and find a better fight than on the undercard of Spence Garcia, bro. I mean, the Benavidez Love fight was on the same level.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I mean, we've seen some piss poor card making, but yeah. I mean, like I said, hopefully Oscar, does better for the next significant Golden Boy card. So yeah, that brings an end to our show. I think I said everything I needed to say between this and the Avengers. I think I'm all, I don't have any final thoughts. LB, do you?
Nah, man, the chopper didn't. It's just the gun's empty, man. The ammunition done, man. Over the day, all there is to say, man. Just hopefully, we could get another outcome other than Canelo decision.
Right.
Jacobs, this is up to you, because unlike the damn end game, we can't change anything. I'll just leave it at that.
That's real talk.
You gotta give us the ending that we want, man.
Right.
Even though I'm not officially picking you, you gotta understand it's because we've been shell shocked and just battered over the year with these fucking scorecards that just in Canelo favor, and it's like no one wants to be wrong anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So no one's gonna predict a Jacobs win, man. You just gotta go out there with nobody believing in you, just everybody wanting you to knock this motherfucker out, and you gotta do that.
Exactly.
That's all I really say. Because if you don't, I don't care how good you look, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose the decision, and niggas is gonna be complaining and yada yada yada. You're gonna look back at yourself and be like, damn, why my big ass ain't apply more pressure than him to him? and that's all there is, man. So that's all I got to say about the fight. Other than that, fucking ringgangradio.com is the truth. Y'all hit up the blog, everything on Patreon, Instagram, Twitter, Podomatic, Facebook, all that shit. Gold Artist album in stores, all available streaming platforms. Y'all know what to do, man. Shutterworth.
Yeah, exactly, man. So for myself, Patscorpio, the new representative for Shutterworth, God, LB, Soul Wars. I'm saying we're out, man, and we'll get at you later on this week with some recaps from this weekend's fights. All right, y'all. Peace.